is going on, guys? We are back here with another review video. Today's Delicious in Dungeon episode 19. We only have like 6 more to go. Um, this episode was actually really cool. So we got to dive into kind of like the mind of Marcel and these thoughts and everything that she's been having dealing with turning Fallon into that chimera that we saw. Um, what really like grabbed it all for me, like what really made it like good was the fact that it was all like black and white. I think that just added to like the mystique of kind of it wasn't really scary, but it was giving like horror vibes, you know what I mean? Obviously it was a nightmare. It wasn't a dream. So there was like these little shell looking creatures that give people nightmares in their dreams. So uh Laios, he was able to use some kind of magic to go into Marcel's mind and help her escape. So this episode started off where last week left off with the cat ninja type thing. Come to find out, it's a beast man from Shiro's party. They had Marcel pinned down to the ground because they wanted them to lift a spell that was on their neck of turning them into a beast man. Their name was Itsusumi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And basically, she was under the assumption that Marcia would be able to lift the spell because she had used dark magic um, before, and they were going to go after Fallon, which Itsusumi was under the impression that they were gonna like turn her back into a human. But that's the thing, Marcel doesn't know if she will be able to or not. So that was something that was really intriguing as well. And then, like I was saying earlier, with the dream, we so it started off with Laios's dream actually, and he was being like ridiculed by his parents, mainly his dad, and then also people I guess from his old school as well as Shuro. And then once he figured out that because what happened was he placed his head on Marcel to be able to help her get out of her dream. So he realized that he was like above her. So he became like a wolf and then dug through the floor and then got into her dream as well. And that was when there was like this giant creature. I couldn't even tell what it was. Honestly, it was like a mix of things that Marcel was like conjuring up in her mind, and it was like chasing them the entire time. Oh, and another thing, Marcel was a kid again in this. I'm not really sure the meaning behind that, like why she was a kid. Um, the whole premise of like her nightmare was the fact that she was afraid of people in her life that she cares about dying before she does. Mainly with Fallon turning into this chimera type thing, she blames herself, right? So we've really been seeing some like character development here with Marcel and like trying to use this dark magic for good and bringing Fallon back to life. But then it turns out that the dragon's blood got mixed in with it, so she turns into this chimera who serves the Mad Mage, and now Marcel's like blaming herself for what has happened. Um, well, yeah. Again, back to the nightmare. The way that Laios figured things out was pretty cool, and I thought it was kind of funny how like the creature would touch him, and he was slowly becoming an old man. Um, there's like a lot of things that happened in there that like I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. Um, and maybe it's like left up for interpretation, maybe, and not really to be explained. Um, for example, there was a bunch of pictures in the nightmare, and I don't know if it was Marcel or maybe her mom or other members of her family, but there was a bunch of pictures of that, and then as well as a picture of Fallon towards the end. Um, I'm not sure whether or not that was something to do with Marcel missing those people. Maybe she misses her family back at home. She misses Fallon, of course. Um, the whole reason that they're going deeper into the dungeon is to get her back and defeat the Mad Mage. Another thing that I found really intriguing was how they were able to stop the nightmare. Marcel was able to conjure up in her mind the magic textbook from the Mad Mage. Um, what I really enjoyed about that was the fact that it was in color because the dream was in black and white, and so the textbook was in color, and then when it touched the creature that she made up in her mind, everything turned to color, and it kind of like brought everything to life. So I actually, now that I think about it, I believe that the nightmare dream, whatever you want to call it, it was black and white because Laios even kept saying this too, that he was trying to figure out why Marcel was like, thinking these things, was the fact that she was like thinking about death. I believe that's why it was black and white, because it was like representing death, and then the textbook, turning everything to color, was like her realizing that there's life to this. There's more than just being afraid of the people that she cares about dying before she does, as well as being afraid that like she has to blame herself for what happened to Fallon. Um, so yeah, like I personally think that this episode was like very, very intriguing. There was a lot of good storytelling here, and yeah, like I said earlier, there's like 6 episodes left, which is still a good bit for us here, and depending on how this season ends, if we get a season 2 or not, I'm not sure. Uh, I guess the end goal would be to beat the Mad Mage. So if they're not able to do that in this season, which I think they probably will, but if they're not, then we'll maybe get a second season or a movie or something down the line. I don't know. Just this series as a whole is just so good. I've really enjoyed it ever since it started back in the winter, and yeah, I think that's pretty much my overall thoughts on this episode. So if you guys enjoyed the episode too, leave your thoughts below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future content as well. And as well as follow me on Instagram and TikTok too. I post just about daily anime content on those as well. And as always, you guys have a blessed day.